I am Cameo King. I hail from one of the greatest cities on this planet, which is Detroit, Michigan. I'm excited to be a part of this project, Redefining Feminism, and also as the founder of Good Girl Radio, excited to partner with this project. And when Bree initially talked about it, and she asked certain women, how do you define feminism? And, when I thought about feminism, and I think a lot of us do, or feminists, we have these very archaic, almost dilapidated, if that's what you want to call it, thoughts of feminism based on a very old women's movement. And when you look up feminism in the dictionary, it talks about all these great things, equality, gender equality, in terms of being a woman. And I said, yeah, I'm for it, but am I really on the front lines advocating for women's rights? And even in the work that I do, I'm there to empower and to support girls all across the board, and that's a part of my makeup. That's who I am. But what does it really mean to be a feminist? And it took me some time to think about it. And after looking at some of the stories that have already gone forth, I really had to dig back in my catalog to see if I had a story that would, in a sense, align with those. But I think there's a diversity in our experiences as women. I'm not a mom. I am a sister. I have kids. I mentor a lot of kids. I haven't birthed any. Again, one of my passions is Good Girl Radio. I'm speaking to a lot of women's issues, allowing us to be ourselves, allowing us to be multifaceted, make mistakes, and show the different layers of who we are. And so after the conversation we had today on Good Girl Radio, I promise this isn't a plug for that. But after the conversation today and how we defined it, that it's solely about women's empowerment. It's about empowering the woman to be all she is called to be. And I had to think about maybe some instances in my life. And I thought about going one route of a couple times where people made me very angry in terms of the word feminism and what feminists meant to them. But I didn't want to go that route. I really wanted to talk about how I am today, because I believe I am an empowered woman. I've always believed that I didn't have any limits on my life because of my sex. And but when I think about femininity, so to speak, a lot of who a woman is based on society's standards is defined by how she looks and how she walks, and maybe what she invokes in another man. And I actually found my power in that because I was in control of that to an extent. And I got that through dance. I'm a classically trained dancer. I started dance, I think, when I was in the 5th grade. And I learned ballet, I learned tap, I learned lyrical, I learned modern. I danced throughout high school. And in all these instances, I was in control of my body. I got to decide which way my hip went. I got to decide how I wanted you to feel based on my body movement. I got to decide all these things based on the artistry of my body. And based on comments we've seen and even how we respond to certain things in the media, our bodies are seen to be something to be had, or that it's there solely for your visual pleasure. I'll give you a quick example. When you say, oh, well, if you were, 10 pounds heavier, or if you had a little bit more hips, or if your stomach was a little bit flatter, as though my body sole purpose was for your visual pleasure. And in dance, you learn that your body is so much more, and that translated to me to something bigger, that that I'm not here just for you and your pleasure, that this is an extension of me and how I express myself as a young woman. And I think in certain cultures, we're afraid of dance. We're afraid of allowing girls to move their hips to whatever beat they want to move, because, and I get it, because of what that may mean to someone else. But I think once you hand over that control to them, to say this is your power to do this, and understanding that what it means to you and also what it means to someone else, is powerful in and of itself. You are placing the control in their hands. And I would say, you know, that I've some of the dances and choreography probably wouldn't fit in the category of being respectable, but all throughout. I hope my mama don't see this. All throughout, and it doesn't matter because, you know, you get into the respectability politics. But if you want to play that respectability politics game, while I was dancing, and no matter what type of dance I was doing, I was still who I was. You know, I was still a person of integrity. I was still maintaining myself in school, being on the dean's list in college, being on the honor roll in high school, being an outstanding citizen, being a good friend, and developing my character. And so when we relate something like dance, whether it's twerking, because me and my friends, before twerking became twerking, we had a booty shaking contest. It was 3 of my friends when we spent the night. And my little behind self tried my hardest to shake my butt. But it was about control. It was about, this is what I do. It was about, this is what I was comfortable with. And what my body was used for. And so for me, I really felt that as I got older, that was really my awakening. That wow, something as simple as dance can really transform you into a woman of empowerment. Can really transform you into being able to have some sort of control, and knowing that you are in control to a certain extent with your situations. And so I guess that's it. About when we think about dance, and when we think about what one movement may mean to you and what that movement means to that little girl, and the fact that she is in control of that. And I think what added to it is the fact that there were a myriad of dances. So it wasn't just one type of dance. You know, it wasn't just maybe, you know, hip hop dance. We had so many other dances in front of us, but the fact that we were in control, and that it was actually an art form, and that it took time, and it took work, and it took effort, and that there were levels of greatness, and that there were levels of professionalism to this dance. And so for me, I guess that's how I got to my being an empowered woman. There are so many more things to me other than dance, because that's not even what I do. That's not what I do professionally. So that's it.